Hello and welcome everyone to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today I will be displaying my deck that I won the Historic Anthology event with. It's a mono-green Stompy deck and I went 5-1 with it. And here's the deck list. I have 4 Llanowar Elves for early mana fixing, along with 24 forests. I think 24 might be a bit too high of a number, but for the time being I've left it here. And I have 4 Path Collectors that grows as we put down bigger and bigger creatures, and at 4 counters it also gains trample. Then I got 4 Barkhide Trolls and 4 Crawl Harpooners at the 2 mana slot because both are decent 2-drops and they grow the Path Collector as well. Then at 3 mana we have Steelleaf Champion and Yorvo. Both of them are pretty decent for 3 mana. Steelleaf obviously a little bit better in the early game, especially against mono-red aggro, who usually has creatures with power 1 or 2, so it's decent against them. Yorvo kind of grows as well once you have him on board. Then we have 4 Nullhide Feroxes with hexproof, and the only downside is that we can't cast any non-creature spells, but we don't have any in the deck, so it's not even a downside. And the plus is that whenever an opponent makes you discard a card and you can basically choose a card from your hand, so they're not picking it, then it comes down for free because you can just make it as a discard. It will actually end up in the board. Then we have 4 Carnage Tyrants against counter spells, which also tramples through. We have 3 Galtas because he's legendary, but we usually manage to draw at least 1 during a game. Then we have 2 Voracious Hydras because honestly I didn't know what else to include here. This is a good early play or a good late game play as well. We'll have to see what he does. That's my deck. Let's just jump into a couple of games and see how well we can do with it. What do we think of this hand? It looks decent. Turn 1 Path Collector, turn through Barkhide Troll. If they have a flying creature, we can switch the top with Crawl Harpooner. And yeah, turn 3 Steelleaf Champion if we get any more lands. We are also on the play. I'm totally expecting a shock here, so let's just have that 2 damage in while we can. That's even scarier. Now I'm just tempted to play the Harpooner and risk on pulling a forest. Yeah, that way he can't profitably block. And we need to draw a land. Out of 24 lands, it shouldn't be that hard. Oh, nice one. Then they can recast it again. And I'm going to just block. Nice, so we can play Steelleaf Champion here. Drawing our Path Collector and attacking the enemy for 7. Next turn, if we draw 1 more land, we are going to play Nullhide Ferox. Opponent is on double shock, probably. Oh, okay. I always forget about Dreadhorde, it's a special ability. But now our Path Collector is at 5. So they need a blocker for that. And too bad we pulled the Crawl Harpooner, so we could have gotten rid of it easily. So that's a victory for us. Tiny rewards for our mastery track. What do we think of this hand? I think it is good. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 all lined up. Going to keep it. Opponent with the Llanowar Elves as well. Up against Simic. Ooh, some sort of elemental deck. Now that I've seen that, I've changed my mind and I'll play Archetype Troll. In these type of games we have to be quick, otherwise the opponent will just take over with the Risen Reef. We don't even have any sort of removal for that, so we have to be just constantly attacking the enemy. And here I'm going to risk Yorvo, but he'll probably eat a counter spell. Maybe he doesn't. Oh, nice one. I didn't expect a Nightpack Ambusher from this type of deck, but next turn we will be able to attack past it. So what can we do? We can put down a Pelt Collector and put down Archetype Troll as well. Steelleaf Champion would be more mana efficient, that's true. Yeah, let's risk that. Now we can just attack with Yorvo. This way the opponent doesn't get the upper hand with board presence. Next turn I can still put down my Archetype Troll to grow Pelt Collector even more and attack with everyone. Opponent is forced to block Yorvo and Steelleaf Champion, but they can only block Yorvo profitably. Okay, so they counter my spell. Now we can use Crawl Harpooner to trigger Yorvo. Steelleaf Champion dies, but Pelt Collector grows. So next turn we should be able to close this game out, or at least kill their Nightpack Ambusher. Opponent is stuck on 3 lands, which is quite unfortunate for them. I only have 4 myself as well, but that's okay. So what happens next turn? I'm attacking with everyone. They are forced to block Yorvo because he's the biggest damage dealer. They can also block. Doesn't really matter, as you can see. So yeah, 2 in the bag. Let's see who our next opponent will be. What's this? Raikar, Wind's Fury. So let's play the third one. Double Pelt Collector in the opening hand makes me want to play greedy. So we might play the second one before putting down Archetype Troll. We'll see, we'll see. But most of the time when I do that I lose the game, so probably shouldn't do that. Pelt Collector number 1 comes down. Opponent with a Stomping Grounds. Generating 2 more mana. Paradise to it. Decent opening. Now I'm guessing I will need all my power, so I'm going Pelt Collector and I'm attacking. He's probably forced to block. I could have waited 1 more turn to grow Pelt Collector even more. I wanted to get rid of the creatures they have. Questing Beast comes down. Steel Leaf Champion should be able to block it. Yeah, had I waited one more turn with the Part Collector without attacking, Steel Leaf Champion would have grown it to 3. And then once the death triggers, it would have been a 4-4. Opponent is on some sort of pump spell. Colossus, yes. But I wanted to block it anyway. Otherwise we would have been just dead. And now that I have a second Yorwa in my hand, I'm confident to put the other one down. Opponent probably has another Colossus. Even if Barkheart Troll dies, it will grow my Card Collector. And yeah, that's game. GG's. I think the right play would have been to keep my Pet Collector alive for one more turn. This is a godly opening hand. We have turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion, if nothing happens to the elves. Next turn we probably just attack first. And even though I'm putting down my creatures, I'm pretty sure I will eat a board wipe next turn. Targeted removal. 3 damage to my Card Collector. Will I be playing any more creatures? That's the question. If they had any sort of board wipe, they wouldn't have. Why I'm just going to go on this. Attack first. Put down all Hide Ferox. Okay, so they have a targeted removal for the Ferox as well. But that's not enough because next turn they are dead anyway. So yeah, as you can see, this deck is capable of getting quick wins for you, especially since you are using the best value cards that green can offer. But it's also susceptible for removals, for any sort of cards that can exile your cards, or flyers, for example, are also a weakness of it. So you have to win pretty fast. You have 3 or 4 turns to win or have a board presence, and after that your chance of winning gets slimmer and slimmer. So yeah, feel free to give this a try. As you can see, you win some, you lose some, you live to learn. That's how you want to play Magic, right? So thank you guys for watching this video, and see you guys in the next one. Have fun.